Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the FCSAA State and JCAA District Tournament. Today's first round action will have St. Petersburg College, the Titans, against Palm Beach State College, the Panthers. We will get started here in under 10 minutes or so. They will do introductions of all the players and the starting lineups for both courts. Court number one, Santa Fe College and College of Central Florida. So after all that is said and done, we will get to the first serve. Again, over here we have St. Petersburg College Titans and Palm Beach State College Panthers coming up shortly. Just about underway here from the Bradenton Area Convention Center. I'm Scott Jamison, bringing you today's first round action between St. Petersburg College, the Titans, the number 3 ranked team in the FCSAA final regular season coaches poll that came out on Halloween, and Palm Beach State College Panthers, who come in with a 10-15 record, ranked number 10. St. Petersburg College 15-3 on the season. Of course, some of these records seems like teams didn't play very many games, but because of Hurricane Irma, teams lost a lot of contests that were just flat out canceled, Palm Beach being one of them, as well as St. Pete. St. Pete missed out on 5 straight matches from September 7th to September 16th. And Palm Beach, let's see here. Palm Beach missed out on 6 straight matches from September 7th to September 21st. So 11 combined matches were missed between the two teams. And that will have an effect. It was 21 days. It was 3 weeks between matches for Palm Beach. It's almost like starting the season over at that point. You're having to completely regroup, try to stay in rhythm of some sort. St. Petersburg College with the first serve into the net. So Palm Beach on the board first. And Palm Beach goes into the net. So both teams with a service error to start things off. And let's just start from scratch here. 1-1, St. Pete serving. Ana Carolina de Almeida Costa serving. The libero for St. Petersburg College, Giovanna Goncalves. Also on the floor, Michelle Valiente. Casey Martins, number 9. Number 2, Rafaela Bigelmeyer. That's blocked and down for Palm Beach. And number 10, Beatrice Vieira. Now serving for Palm Beach is number 9, Emily Lampman. Joining her on the floor, number 6, Tatum Thornton. Number 4, Flor Muleman. Number 2, Genevieve Santos. Number 21, Autumn Freeman. Trying to look down there and see, and it looks like the libero. We're a little bit of a distance away. I'm trying to get a number. Looks like number... Oh, that's Emily Lampman. I'm sorry, I already listed her. She's number 9. Outside, off hands from Autumn Freeman. Now outside, off the antenna. Now 5-1, Palm Beach State College. Well, the coach for Palm Beach State College is Drew Colvin, and Drew gave us some really good information. We appreciate him reaching out. That serve did not make it to the net, and giving us some good stuff on his team. And he said, you know what, we're 10-15, and we're young at the setting position, and we lost a lot of matches during Hurricane Irma that affected us because of the lack of needed game experience. We've played just about everyone very close, taking sets from several strong teams. He believes they can be dangerous with the talent level that they have, and he believes his team can stack up against anyone here at this tournament. That's obviously a great attitude to have, and as a coach, I think he truly believes that. He knows what kind of talent his players has, and he wouldn't have recruited them to Palm Beach State College without them having the ability to help him win a state championship. That's why they're here. They want to go to nationals, and they want to win a state championship. He says the last couple matches, especially a must-win against Indian River, we've started to gel at the right time. He thinks they could be a wild card in this tournament. And, you know, you come in at 10-15, and there's not really very many expectations from anybody else. Obviously, as a team, you're going to have your own expectations. And they're meeting them so far. 8-2, St. Pete College coach Scott White we'll call a timeout, and we'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more from the FCSAA NJCAA Region 8 tournament right here on YouTube. To catch you up from the action earlier today, Miami-Dade College, the defending state and national champions, moved to 27-0 with a 3-1 win over Hillsborough Community College. And Polk State College, the runners-up in the Mid-Florida Conference, swept the Panhandle Conference champions Florida State College at Jacksonville 3-0. Not really too difficult of a match for Polk State. They looked very dangerous, and now they will match up against the defending national champions, the Miami-Dade College Sharks, for what should be an absolutely outstanding match at 4 o'clock on court number 1. Of course, you can watch every match. Right now, Santa Fe College and the College of Central Florida are playing. Santa Fe leading early on 5-4. It's two former rivals. They used to both be in the Mid-Florida Conference. Santa Fe transitioned to the Panhandle when they did some restructuring in the state. And they finished as runners-up in the Panhandle to Florida State College at Jacksonville. They're playing the Mid-Florida Conference champion College of Central Florida Patriots. So you can tune in and watch both of those games. 8-4 over here on court number 2. Back-to-back points now for St. Petersburg College to get themselves back into the match. That's in there over the top of Autumn Freeman and drops right on the line. Big point for the Titans. I've seen the Titans play a few times this year, and they tend to start a little bit slower than some teams. They fell behind 2-0 early at a tournament in Gainesville and came back against, I'm going to actually pull the stats up from that one. But I can tell you just how far they were behind. They played Daytona State, actually the number 5 team. They are not here because they're in a very, very tough Mid-Florida Conference. That's 5 straight points now for St. Pete after the timeout. But they were down 2-0 to an extremely tough Daytona State team. Won the last 3 sets, played flawlessly over the final 3. They have played Palm Beach this year. They won 3-0 on August 26th. That was at Santa Fe College as well. And they won 3-0. And that's the only meeting between the two teams. When they played, it was 25-20, 25-8, and 26-24. And we are all tied up here, 8-8. 6 straight points for St. Petersburg College. Make it 7 straight points. Well, volleyball is as much a mental game as any other sport out there. If you can't keep your head, it can be difficult. And right now, Palm Beach has to regather themselves. Coach Drew Colvin has to get his team back to where they need to be when they were ahead 8-2. We'll see if they can do that when we return right here on the FCSAA Sports YouTube channel. Back here live in Bradenton at the Bradenton Area Convention Center. St. Pete still with the service. They've scored 7 straight points to turn an 8-2 deficit into a 9-8 advantage. Almeida Costa into the net, and now 9-9. So a much needed point and a side out for Palm Beach State College. Subbing in for the Panthers is number 12, Joanne Dania from Curacao. That's one I haven't seen. Dania plays for the national team in Curacao. Coach Drew Colvin calls her the most improved player on the team and expects her to be one of the top players in the state next year. Thinks she has the potential to be a shutdown blocker and opposite side hitter. So high expectations for Dania and high praise coming from her coach, Drew Colvin. He doesn't use superlatives like that unless he's very serious. Looks like a net violation called, and now 10-10 the score. Serving for St. Pete, number 14, Michelle Valiente. She's from Paraguay. I'll tell you what, this sport, and especially at this level, and I know it is at the NCAA level too, is a world sport. There are probably 20 countries, and we'll actually figure this out later, how many countries. It'll be pretty easy. Probably over 20 countries represented here. Santa Fe over on court one of the only teams that does not have any international players. Everyone's from Florida except for a couple players. They're leading 12-10 in the first set. And right now it's 11-10 St. Pete over here on court number 2. Now 12-10. So right now they're on a 10-2 run to take the lead. Sorry about that. We're having some technical difficulties over on floor number 1. If you're trying to watch that one, and we're not exactly sure why. We've been on the phone with the internet company. Matt Ennis is doing a great job trying to figure out what the issue is. And we're running off the same exact internet here, both courts. This court seems to be working fine, and we keep getting error messages and broadband issues, bandwidth, I should say. So not exactly sure over here. You should have a clear picture, a clear image up of this game, but if you're trying to watch the Santa Fe Central Florida game, we apologize. And again, Matt Ennis is working very diligently right now to try to get this figured out. Off the hands of Palm Beach, an opportunity here for the Panthers. Off the hands there and down, killed for Palm Beach on the outside by number 7, Lindsay Minter. Well, Palm Beach alone is represented by the state of Florida, Puerto Rico, the Netherlands, Texas, North Carolina, Colorado, Curacao, Brazil. A lot of different places in this country and out for Palm Beach. We're back knotted up at 14-14. Taylor Gregory serving. St. Pete College has 6 players from Brazil, a couple from Paraguay, 1 from China, and 2 players from Florida. So some international flair on both of these teams. Like I said, you're going to find it on pretty much every team except Santa Fe. Santa Fe hanging on to a slim 14-12 lead on court number 1 over the College of Central Florida. Over here, 15-14, St. Pete College advantage. They went through the block and now lead 16-14. I apologize if I'm a second or two late on the score. We're really trying to get this issue figured out over on court number 1. It's been frustrating to say the least with the internet, and again, we apologize profusely. We are working diligently, Tyler and Matt, to try to figure it out. The internet was perfect last night, extremely fast, was perfect this morning, and now all of a sudden we just hit a wall or something over there. And again, we're using the same source. That serve was wide from Rafaela Bigelmeyer. And now 16-15, so a close first set here. The winner will advance on to play the winner of College of Central Florida and Santa Fe. Right now, Santa Fe hanging on to a slim 15-12 lead. I'm trying to prod Tyler on here. That's a block and in right there in the middle. Tatum Thornton, 5'10" middle blocker. Probably be talking about her a lot. Coach Drew Colvin has this to say. She's a 2-year starter. Played on their conference championship team of a year ago. She was a track star as well in high school, so just a tremendous athlete. Also was a cheerleader. Just sort of, Tatum Thornton does it all. Won the state championship in the 4x100 relay. And he says she is the best freestyle rapper on the team. I sort of want to hear that. Maybe we can get a freestyle rap, clean of course, family friendly from, which I'm sure she would anyways, from Tatum Thornton. Had a chance to watch her play last year. She has a great personality. You can just see it out there on the floor. Really gets her teammates fired up. Really does a good job of keeping everybody level-headed though at the same time. She's a really good leader for Coach Drew Colvin and really just seems like a very good person. And from what her coach says, that is the fact. And a good athlete to boot. And she can rap, which I have a lot of, to me that's impressive because I can't. So anybody that has that kind of musical talent, I have respect for. Serving now for St. Petersburg College. They are up 19-16. That was Ana Carolina de Almeida Costa. St. Pete long, and they will get a touch on Palm Beach, so St. Pete will pick up the point. Looked like it changed directions a little bit. Coach Drew Colvin will call a timeout. St. Pete leads 20-16. We'll be right back after this. Back here live at the Bradenton Area Convention Center. Wonderful hosts here. Of course, led by Matt Ennis. That in on the line. Kill for St. Pete. Thank you to Matt Ennis, who is now diligently trying to work on the internet. It seems like we have things working on court number 1. I'm knocking on wood. If you're at home and you have some wood around, knock on it, cross your fingers, something. Santa Fe up 20-13. (20-13) on court number 1. Santa Fe College up And if you're trying to watch that one and you flipped over to this one for updates, you can go back to court 1. It seems to be working now. Santa Fe knocked Central Florida out of the tournament last year, and that was the game that actually punched their ticket to their first national tournament last year in Casper, Wyoming. 23-16 now over here. St. Pete has taken control. Now 24-16. Set point for the Titans, who once trailed 8-2 in this match, if you can believe it. A 22-9 run has them 1 point away. And Central Florida starting to make a run over on court number 1 against Santa Fe. Now have closed it to 22-17. Well, College of Central Florida is the number 2 ranked team in the state. You can promise they're not going to roll over for anybody, especially against their former rivals. And that one goes through the block. St. Pete takes the first set, 25-17. We will head to set number 2. When we return, St. Pete leads 1-0. You're watching the FCSAA State NJCAA District Tournament right here on the FCSAA YouTube channel. Back here at the Bradenton Area Convention Center, Scott Jamieson with you. St. Petersburg College won the first set 25-17 over Palm Beach State. Santa Fe just took the first set over the College of Central Florida, 25-18 over on court number 1. You can watch both at the same time, split screen. If you're tuned in, you love volleyball, you may as well. Some high-level teams here at this tournament. Last year, the 3 teams that qualify, because 3 teams do qualify for the national tournament, 3 of them went. Miami-Dade won the state championship. Santa Fe came in second, and Polk State came in third. Well, at the national tournament, they did pretty well, too. Miami-Dade won the national championship without losing a set. Polk State came in third, and Santa Fe came in fourth out of 16 teams. So a great showing for the state of Florida, and this year the talent is there for them to do that again. Miami-Dade 27-0, defending national champions. Haven't lost since sometime around the middle of the season in 2016. So they are poised for another national championship, and that's what they want at least, but there's 7 other teams here that want a shot at that as well. And it all starts here in Bradenton at the FCS 8A tournament. And Palm Beach with the early 1-0 lead. Palm Beach led 8-2 in the first set, but then were outscored the rest of the way pretty significantly to lead to that 25-17 win by St. Pete. 23-9, in fact, over the remainder of the match. St. Pete called a timeout at 8-2, scored 7 straight points after the timeout, and just continued to dominate the rest of the way. 1-0 here early on for Palm Beach. Off the net from Thornton. Down the line, waiting for it, right there was Emily Lampman. Misplayed by Giovanna Goncalves. Apologize, I'll get that right, I promise. Serving is Floor Moeleman, native of the Netherlands. Comes from a strong family of volleyball players. Strongest server on the team, says Coach Drew Colvin. And even if she doesn't get an ace, she really puts the other team out of their system. So she's very accurate with her serve. She's aggressive with her serves. High-level hitter, but has, before she came here, but is really focused on her setting since she came to the United States. And, you know, for a player that's 6 foot, if you can be a 6-foot setter, you have a good opportunity to play at the next level. Because you don't really, you can play the 6-1 system, you can stay in, you can block. Instead of having to play a 6-2 if you have shorter setters where you need to rotate them out on the front line. Otherwise, you'd have a big disadvantage. So they're able to play that 6-1 with Moeleman in there. Down the line, nicely played. Perfect positioning by Lampman. Off the hands. Palm Beach with an opportunity in the middle to Thornton. Thornton tried to finesse one in there. Thornton on the overpass. Just mistimed her jump a little bit. Now a 3-2 lead for St. Pete. St. Pete's been one of the best teams in the state all season long. They're 15-3. And ranked number 3 behind the College of Central Florida and Miami-Dade, who unsurprisingly received all 19 first place votes. Probably the least shocking thing you'll hear. When you're 26-0, there's not really many other options to go with. Now 3-3 after that Palm Beach point. Great dig by Lampman. Now outside to Duval. The setter with a very nice play. Beatrice Vieira. Excuse me. To pick up the point now 4-3. That one is blocked, sent back by Vieira and Filippo. 5-3 now, serving Giovanna Goncalves. Nicely done by the St. Pete defense. Almeida Costa tries to go to the back row outside to Autumn Freeman. Off the hands and point for Palm Beach. Autumn Freeman stands just 5'4", and she's an outside hitter. 5'4". That will tell you something about her athletic and jumping ability. Right down the line and a kill for the Titans. Santa Fe College in Central Florida, of course, playing on court number 1. The Saints of Santa Fe took the first set 25-18. Very early on in the second set, 2-2. with the Saints serving. You can find that one on the YouTube channel as well. Every game is listed in the playlist, so if you share it with somebody, and make sure you subscribe as well to give you reminders, and on your phone you can have it set up to when a game starts, it will tell you that it's live. You can just click right on the, especially if you have an iPhone, you can just click right on the reminder and it will take you right to the game. Appreciate everybody that's tuning in. We'll cover the basketball, baseball, and softball tournaments on the FCSAA channel. Will probably be different than YouTube, however. We'll probably have our own network, which will be very nice. We'll be upgrading a little bit after this tournament, still in the logistical phase of that. It's now 6-6 after that last Palm Beach point. Serving for Palm Beach, Madison Adkins. This time the jump, but still able to get it over. Now a free ball for the Titans. Some miscommunication, and Palm Beach will take the lead. They'll take it. Certainly. You know, one thing I really like about Coach Drew Colvin and Coach Scott White as well is especially Coach Scott White stays very even-tempered throughout the game. Coach Colvin wears his emotions a little bit more on his sleeve, but he's very positive. He's one of those coaches that really wants to try to keep the camaraderie of the team up. He doesn't want the players to hang their head. He doesn't want the players getting discouraged, and so he doesn't. And he always keeps a positive attitude. Of course, every coach on earth has moments, you know. So I'm not saying he's perfect by any means, but he does a really good job of keeping the positivity with the team. That's the word I'm looking for, positivity. And Coach Scott White the same way, that even-keeled. And I really noticed that when at Santa Fe, they fell behind 2-0 to Daytona, and they got thrashed in the first two sets. There's no other really way to say it. He never really changed his demeanor, stayed very calm, talked to the players between the sets, and they went on to win the next three. So teams feed off what their coach puts out. Teams are going to react in a way. If their coach is losing their mind and not able to keep their composure, odds are the players are going to be doing the same thing. If the coach stays calm and collected and cool throughout bad moments, then your team's probably going to do the same thing. I think some coaches lose sight of that at times. These two are not two that lose track of that. On the other side, the two coaches, I've been watching them. They've both stayed. Of course, Coach Nick Sharonis, who I'm very familiar with, working at Santa Fe College, but also the coach for the College of Central Florida, and he's in his first season as the head coach, Angel Gonzalez. And again, just nice, cool, calm, collected demeanor. And you're going to get the same thing out of your players for the most part. Palm Beach kept alive but out, so Palm Beach will get the point, and now it's 9-8. Again, we seem to have worked through any technical difficulties that we had earlier on court number 1. We're keeping an eye on it, but we should be okay. That attack was wide. Palm Beach has tied it up 9-9. Looking a lot better, Palm Beach, here in this second set. I think they got a little bit caught up in the moment of being up 8-2 and maybe got on their heels a little bit. Didn't keep their foot on the gas pedal. And there's an ace. Autumn Freeman. Central Florida now with a 2-point lead in the second set over on court number 1. 9-7 in that second set. Blocked, solo block on the outside by Lindsay Minter, 5'10" outside hitter. Eden, North Carolina, to Moorhead High School. And now Freeman will serve again. It's 11-9. Right off the top of the net, and another ace. That thing, I don't know how that got over the net, but it rolled over with that top spin. And a timeout now for Coach Scott White and the Titans. We'll be back right after this on the FCSA Sports YouTube channel. Back live at the Bradenton Area Convention Center, Autumn Freeman serving. And St. Petersburg College out of the timeout, as they did in the last set, score. Now they went on to score 7 more points in a row after that. And I promise you, Palm Beach does not want that to happen again. So Palm Beach will try to get a side out. Outside. And wide. No touch. So 13-10. Big point from Palm Beach to turn that serve over and not let them go on any sort of a run. Taylor Gregory, 6-foot sophomore middle blocker from Wellington, Florida. Palm Beach Central High School will serve. In the middle, off hands, and a kill for Casey Martins. Central Florida stretching their lead out over the Saints, 13-9 now in the second set. Santa Fe leads 1-0 in that one, and they've just called a timeout. Over here on court number 2, St. Petersburg College serving. Bigelmeyer. Bump set, overpassed on that one, and a kill put away on the outside by Vieira. Now 13-12. Opportunity here for St. Pete. Vieira dug out nicely by Freeman. Now they'll go to Minter. Outside to Almeida Costa, no touch. Point Palm Beach. Of course, I'd be remiss if I did not tell you to go to the FCSAA Sports Facebook page and check out all the photos from Tom Haggerty. Tom, to say he does a tremendous job with the photos would be really underselling the work that he does. Believe me, take a few minutes to go check the photos out. After the match is over, he usually has them up. That's a great save by Autumn Freeman. What a play. He usually has them up within 20 minutes after the game's over. So make sure you go and check that out. Again, I can't encourage you enough. They're really good photos, and if you have somebody you know that's playing in the match, you're going to want to go check those out. He does a good job of spreading the photos around, too, of getting shots of as many different players as he can. He's at all the tournaments for the FCSAA. Sort of the cameraman for everything. He can shoot any sport. Doesn't matter. He knows how to do it. So, and that's Tom Haggerty takes those photos. So I want to give him a shout out. And Belinda Wheatcroft, who helps run that Facebook page, along with Kelly Warren at the FCSAA. They keep the wheels spinning in Tallahassee for the state. Blocked and in, so a kill, not a block, a kill for Palm Beach State, and they go back up 15-14. Matt Ennis is the one that keeps the wheels spinning here at this tournament, along with, of course, George Sanders from Florida Southwestern, women's commissioner George Sanders. Blocked but out, so a point and a kill for St. Pete. And now serving for St. Pete, Giovanna Goncalves. Santa Fe scored a couple points in a row on court number 1, trying to get themselves all the way back in. Over here, St. Pete and Palm Beach in a tight 15-15. A net violation called. Palm Beach not thrilled with that call. Flora Muleman will go over and check to see, and that's who they called it on. So St. Pete will get the point, and that's a tough one to swallow because you, as Palm Beach, you think you got a big point to take the lead. Now it's shifted, but you've got to forget about it. Put it in your rearview mirror and just play and get the next point and break the serve. That one was down. Yes, I heard it hit the floor as well, even from up here, so they will get that call. Well, Santa Fe has taken the lead now over on court number 1. They've scored 5 straight. That serve just hits the tape and rolls over, an ace for Goncalves. And now 18-15. Nineteen to 15. 19 to 15 the score here. St. Pete and Palm Beach. St. Pete with the advantage and a timeout for Palm Beach State. We'll take a break and we'll be right back with more here on the FCSAA YouTube channel. (19 to 15). St. Pete leading Palm Beach. Service from St. Pete. And they're going to call that an illegal contact. So now 20 to 15. Up and over, Palm Beach thought that one was going to get in there. Very nicely dug out. St. Pete across, no touch, point Palm Beach. Big point for the Panthers. They needed that one. Now 20 to 16, broke the serve. (20 to 16), St. Pete. There's a kill on the outside for number 10, Beatrice Vieira. Now 21-16. Vieira will now serve. Serve long from Vieira. So again, a big point for Palm Beach, and they need to start to make something happen here. They need to start to rattle some points off in a row. Over on court number 1, you can watch College of Central Florida and Santa Fe College live with Mike Rideout. That's a block at the net. St. Pete maintains possession. They'll try it again. Great dig. Wow, what a play by Emily Lampman. And St. Pete will get the point, but great effort by Lampman. That's one thing you'll see from every team here is effort. They're all going to leave it on the floor. There's no question about that. And they're all athletes. They're all really, really good athletes. Believe me, I've tried to play volleyball, and it was not pretty. So I have the utmost respect for how athletic, unbelievably athletic these athletes are. And it's just fun to watch. And these two teams are two fun teams to watch. 22-17 right now for St. Pete, and there's a touch, so it will be another point now, 23-17. These teams are all well coached, and you gotta love the enthusiasm that volleyball players have and their love of the game. 24-17. Serving for the set. There's a block and down. St. Pete takes set number 2 and now leads 2-0 over Palm Beach. We're about 3 or 4 minutes away from set number 3. We'll be back with more from the FCSAA tournament. Sorry about that. We're putting the score on the wrong side. It is 2-0 St. Pete, 25-17. Apologize about that. It is 25-17 win for St. Pete. It is now 2-0 for the Titans. My apologies. Back here in Bradenton. And again, I apologize. I had that score. We had a slight stoppage there, and I started putting the score on the wrong side and somehow never noticed, which was my fault completely. And I apologize about that. I will try to not let that happen again. It is 1-1 here early on, set number 3. St. Pete is leading 2-0. And Palm Beach with the point now to go ahead 2-1 here in this third set.
Outside and down. So a point and a kill for St. Pete. Now 3-2 Palm Beach. And they need this one. Palm Beach needs to win the next 3 if they want to advance to the second round here in the winner's bracket. Of course, if they lose, it is a double elimination tournament, can still win the state championship and can still also qualify for the national tournament. Mishandled by Autumn Freeman, and now 3-3. Outside, off the hands, and a kill for St. Pete. So Santa Fe has taken the second set over on court number 1. They now lead 2-0 over the College of Central Florida. The winners of these 2 matches will play each other later at 4 o'clock. That one is blocked in the middle by Casey Martins. Autumn Freeman receives the serve. And now on the outside attack, dug out again by Autumn Freeman. Autumn Freeman does a little bit of everything for Palm Beach. Can play outside, plays defense. Actually listed as a defensive specialist on the roster as well as an outside hitter. So again, just a little bit of everything from Autumn Freeman. And now 6-3, St. Pete with the advantage. And now Ana Carolina de Almeida Costa serves. And in on the back line. They'll let that one go, and it is an ace. That one in on the line. That, I'll be honest, it looked out from here, but the line judge is directly on that line, so he's going to have a much better view than I am, even though I'm up a little bit higher. Must have hit the outside portion of the line. And now 8-3, St. Petersburg leading here in the 3rd set. That's off the hands and will be a point for Palm Beach. One landed out. So 8-4, St. Pete leading here in the 3rd set. They took the first 2 sets. The winner will move on to play either Santa Fe College or the College of Central Florida at 4 o'clock in the winner's bracket. Set in the middle and a kill for St. Pete's Casey Martins. The winner of that 4 o'clock match, whether it's Palm Beach, St. Pete, Santa Fe, or Central Florida, will qualify for the NJCAA National Tournament. Joust at the net, won by Thornton. Big point for Palm Beach, who now trail 9-5. Set outside. Nicely dug out by Lampman. Almeida Costa on the other side with a great dig. Kept alive by St. Pete. Now Thornton in the middle, up and over. Outside, some off-rhythm attacks here. That was Duval. That one's gotten a really clean look. There's a good clean look and a kill. So that's what it took. Beatrice Vieira gets a nice set and a shot from the outside and picks up the kill. Again, if you'd like to watch the Santa Fe College of Central Florida match, that is also on the YouTube channel. It's over there on court number 1. Off the hands and a great play by Lampman. She read that changing direction of the ball so well. She made another dig there, just overran it a tad, and now 11-5. St. Pete. Tell you what, she's doing some work back there. That one blocked but kept alive by Minter, and now it's down and a point for St. Pete. 12-5 in control of this one in the third set. Vieira serving. In the middle and killed. Somebody hit in the face with the ball, I believe. Seemed to be okay, but a timeout. That was a kill by Rafaela Biegelmeyer. Now 13-5 and a timeout. Coach Drew Colvin. Timeout. Panthers will be back right after this. You're watching the FCSAA Sports YouTube channel. Back here at the Bradenton Area Convention Center, Scott Jamison with you. 13-5 advantage for St. Pete. There's a block and a point for Palm Beach. That was Thornton. Palm Beach needs to rattle off some points. Central Florida taking a little bit of control in this third set over on court number 1, 7-3 over Santa Fe. They need to win 3 sets as well. They're down 2-0. They're off to a good start in the third set. If you're a Patriots fan, you have to be excited about the start here in the third set for the Pats. 14-6 now the lead for the Titans. Ball from court 2 over here actually went over onto that court, and I had to stop play in the middle of a play. I don't think anybody really had an advantage though, so that's didn't really hurt anybody. Blocked but kept alive by guess who, Lampman. And then they are going to get a net violation. I'll tell you what, she covers some ground back there. Little Barrow makes some plays. (15-6) St. Pete. 16-6, St. Pete. Michelle Valiente serving. Got a lot of movement on that serve. Central Florida 8-5, set number 3 over there on court 1. Net violation on Olivia Duvall. She's got her momentum going a little bit too much forward. Shoulder hit the net. Substitution for St. Pete, Jania Ocampos. Now 18-6. St. Pete has started to flex their muscles. The number 3 team in the state playing like it right now. Valiente serving. Point there for Palm Beach, now 18-7. We appreciate everybody who's tuned in. And again, I apologize for the mistake earlier. We got some word from a Palm Beach fan whose brother was watching. Thank you for keeping me on my toes. That was a pretty bad screw up to mess the points up for like 10 points. So again, I'd like to apologize for that again. Nothing I can blame it on really, to be honest with you. I started putting it up on the wrong side. I have home and away on my screen instead of the team name and just started not exactly my best work. That one off the hands and out, and a point for St. Pete. Again, thank you everybody out there who's keeping me on my toes. The next games will be at 4 o'clock. And we have one of those games set already. Polk State College and Miami-Dade College will play on court number 1. On court number 2, we will have 2 of the teams that are playing now. Either St. Pete, which it's looking like St. Pete, 20-8 here in the third set, up 2-0, against either the College of Central Florida or Santa Fe College. That one's still a lot left to play. Central Florida up by 4 in the third set, so that one could go the distance. Net violation on, actually no, excuse me. Illegal contact, I believe, was the call. Now Central Florida with a 5-point lead over on court number 1. (20-9) the score. Big swing from Almeida Costa and a kill. Athletic Director Davey Gill here for St. Pete. One of the nicest guys you'll come across. And he's good at his job too, on top of that. Really good guy. Off the hands. Kept alive, Almeida Costa. Down the line that hits the net, slows it down enough to fall in for the point. 22-9. Serving. Riegelmeyer. That was Autumn Freeman on the outside. Now a chance here. That's in. Michelle Valiente, she couldn't have walked over there and placed that thing any better than what she just did. Riegelmeyer will continue serving. 23-9. Well, should this score hold up, Palm Beach would play at 4 o'clock against the loser of the Santa Fe College of Central Florida game, which, again, there's a long way to go in that one. Central Florida up by 6 points in the third set, starting to pull away from the Saints. And once you have the momentum, you know how it is in volleyball,
You can win those next two pretty easily if you grab that momentum. Volleyball is a very momentum-driven sport. Service error. 24. It is match point, 24-10. Service error. That'll do it. St. Pete wins it in 3 sets, 25-10. Flip it on over to court number 1. College of Central Florida and Santa Fe are in a really good one. College of Central Florida is dominating here in the 3rd set, up 14-7. Santa Fe took the first 2 sets, so we should have a good finish in that one. Looks like it's going to go to a 4th, barring a big Santa Fe comeback. So make sure you go ahead and tune that one in. It's now 15-7. Central Florida rolling here in the 3rd set. Saints trying to regain their traction. But over here on court 2, St. Pete with the big win over Palm Beach. Palm Beach is not done. Palm Beach will play at 4 o'clock in an elimination game. St. Pete is now 1 match win away from going to the national tournament. That's why they're here. They want to go to Hutchinson, Kansas. We'll see what happens at 4 o'clock when we come back with more action here on court number 2. Again, that match on court 2 will be St. Petersburg versus either the College of Central Florida or Santa Fe College. Thank you for tuning in on behalf of myself, Tyler Allen, Matt Innes, and FCSAA President Kelly Warren. We appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you at 4 o'clock.